Do social situations or social events with your partners where maybe there might be other partners there or other people you're interested in, or maybe it's like a swinger party, or maybe it's just a social event. But do things like that ever make you anxious? A little nervous? A little worried? What do I expect? How do I behave? What do I do? Do they ever make you anxious?
Always.
Every time.
Every single time. Yeah. Every single one.
I've learned that like my feelings of nervousness or anxiety are the exact same like physical sensations as when I'm really excited. And so it all gets kind of mixed up and it's hard to tell what's going on if I'm excited or if I'm nervous or if I'm horny or what, maybe hungry. Like, is that my tummy growling?
I like all those problems. That's sort of, and yeah, I've heard that's a real thing. Don't quote me because I don't know what I'm quoting. But in your brain, like your brain doesn't know what it's feeling either. There's just a hormone release because of a situation. And then you can tell yourself like, oh, I'm very angry right now, or I'm very anxious, or I'm excited, because those things are all very, very similar. And then your brain says, oh, okay, well, if that's what you think it is, that's probably what this is.
Yeah.
So you can trick yourself into feeling excited about something you're actually nervous about.
Yeah, you're just in an activated state.
Yeah.
And then you make up a story to go with that activated state and your brain goes, I'm down with that one. Let's do it.
Yeah. Brains are so
Unless it's so activated that you're into like fight, flight, freeze. And then it's like, fuck your stories. We're going to die.
Oh, yeah. It's bad at that one too, isn't it?
Yeah. Welcome to Nope, We're Not Monogamous. I'm Ellecia, and that's Danny.
That's me. Danny.
I'm happy you're here. So every time we go to record one of these, we're like, oh my God, what are we going to talk about? And then we spend about an hour and a half trying to set up like microphones and stuff and like get the lighting right, because that's important for a podcast, right? But it is important for a video. So if you're just listening to the podcast, you can also watch the video if you like to see things. Just like listening to the audio, that's amazing too, because Danny's a dope-ass editor who makes the audio sound great. Thank you.
Stop. And you're welcome.
Really good. So good, Danny. You're the best.
Thank you. I'm going to edit this out.
No, you're not. That was the intro.
That was the intro.
How do we do?
I loved it.
You can edit this part.
You can edit this part out? Now I'm going to leave it in.
Aw.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, like we talked about like social events, but I feel like parties it's social event. Like if you are polyamorous and you have multiple partners, and multiple partners will be there, which one is your date? Are you like, do you have a specific date? I know people who like specify like, this is my date for this event. And I know other people who just like really free flow. Some people need to know that. Others don't want that. And then you add on to that, if you're not polyamorous, but non-monogamous in other ways, like maybe you're a swinger or maybe you're just slutty, whatever. And you're going to an event that, maybe there's someone there that you want to make out with or something, or multiple someones that you want to make out with. And then how to navigate that with partners there. There's so many different levels and ways that it can happen, that it's hard to, you can't just give I can't just give blanket advice. Like a lot of it is very situational and specific to relationships, but I feel like there is some universal advice, and also there's some like general advice, and also maybe just like how we do things maybe is helpful, or how other people I know do things can be helpful, because it's nice to know that like to not try to reinvent the wheel.
Yeah, absolutely. Like just not talking about it isn't going to help anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you got to say something.
Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people don't, though. A lot of people walk into a situation and then they're like, oh shit, we should have talked about this. It never even crossed my mind that I wouldn't be the person that you're focused on at this event with 50 people or whatever.
Yeah, that would suck.
But, like
not knowing what's up.
Not knowing is uncomfortable, especially if you're more of an introvert or just really excited. Like maybe you don't see each other all the time and this is your date night and it's a very social event. And you're like, well, I thought that this was our chance to spend time together, but you're just socializing with everybody but me. like as if we lived together and had every day together, well, that would be really uncomfortable. So that's the kind of thing I think we've actually talked about that.
Yeah, that's actually kind
Like,
of our situation.
yeah, because like
Yeah.
I think before the first party we went to, I was like, this is great, but like I would really love it if we like spent time together at this party as well.
Yeah, I think you did,
Uh-huh.
and that was super helpful.
Because I had seen
Yeah.
other people go through it and been like, this feels like a thing we should talk about.
You're so wise.
Thank you. Okay, so let's start with how do you establish, I don't want to say ground rules, but like how do you establish the,
A common understanding.
yeah, like how connected, this is actually great. Like asking your partners, like, how connected do you like to be at social events?
Oh, that's a good way to say that.
Right? Like, how connected do
Yes.
you like to be? Do you just want to be a free bird and go off and do your own thing and not ever think about me at an event? And does that work for me? Right? I'm an extrovert, pretty social. That kind of works for me. But I do like regular check-ins,
Oh, yeah.
right? Or if you're someone who is very introverted and is like, "Oh, I don't even wanna go to the party, let alone be left on my own to socialize. Can I please just follow you everywhere?" Does that like, I feel like so much of it is checking in, like, does that work for you on a regular basis? And also, does that work for you for this type of event that we're going to?
Yeah, I think yeah, I do. I think that checking in is the important part as long as there is a common understanding,
Mhm.
and you're not just going into it blind.
Yeah.
And it's good to have the discussion before you actually go to whatever this event is.
Okay, so I'm gonna give a couple of examples. One being like a swinger party, like a sex party, something where the purpose is to hook up with people. Now, most people going to like swingers events are couples who
Yeah.
have like a primary relationship who are going to like, usually they already have their ground rules established. Like they play together, they play separate but in the same room. Like they kind of have that established and then they meet up with, so they have kind of done that already. I hope so. Please do that. Uh
Well, everybody has their first time.
well, yeah,
Yeah, I think that's what we're addressing.
not
Ooh,
necessarily.
fair.
No, because it progresses also, like, people, like, might have those same ground rules forever,
Sure.
or they might have that established, like, maybe that's what they like to do. Maybe they do that for, like, 6 months, and then they're like, "Actually, we feel way more confident and secure in this, and now we're gonna, like, just go do our own thing." Um, but so I feel like a swingers party, most people already have that kind of established, like, what their comfort level is in being separate or together or connected with their partner.
Yeah.
But then if we go from there to another event that's like, say, just a birthday party with where there might be multiple partners of yours or like your metamors, other partners of your partner,
Yeah.
right? So, okay, I'm going to give an example.
Please do.
One of the first times I came to your house was your birthday party.
Yes.
And so you had your two established partners that you live with there, plus me. And so I wasn't sure, and we had not had a conversation about this because we were pretty new. So I was just playing it cool. I didn't want to steal all of your attention and time away because one, it was a party and you were hosting multiple people. Also, you had your two like established partners there. So I didn't want to like be too clingy
Yeah.
and touchy with you. And you navigated it so freaking well. I watched you like make your social rounds and you kept coming back to me and checking in and like talking to me and then like you were doing your little social rounds and it felt so good.
Oh my god. Yeah, I was. It was on my mind. I remember that because we hadn't talked about it. I was like, man, I don't know what I'm supposed to do because I want to make sure you felt noticed and special and appreciated. But at the same time, I didn't want my other people to
Feel
not feel
abandoned.
that. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. I didn't want to abandon other people. And yeah, that it is. It's a weird line to walk on.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, and I'm glad that
You did it so
I
well.
did all
You're like
right.
you were like an old pro,
I was a lucky.
a lucky first timer.
That's it.
Um, but if it were something else, There have been other events that we've gone to where, like, other people's parties where you had multiple partners there along with me, but also your other partners had other partners there and friends. I didn't know very many people.
Sure.
And so, again, like, you navigated that. We both kind of socialized and kept coming back together without that being established. It just, we flowed really well in
Yeah,
that.
I think that even without discussing, I think you and I both just like check-ins because I really do like that. Just like the pop and like, "Hey, I love you. How you doing?"
Yeah. Yeah. That feels good.
But at the same time, I don't think I need to take all of your time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have you to myself a lot.
Not that much.
It could be more. That is true. But maybe at a party isn't the place to
Oh.
eye gaze.
Okay. So then I'm thinking, I'm kind of going through our experience
Yeah.
of when, I don't know if it was the first time, I don't think it was, but I'm thinking of a party that, an event that we were going to where we both had the opportunity. It could be that we would, like, go make out with someone. Like there were people there that we may or may not be interested in. And so we did talk about it. Like,
Yes.
because now we brought in, like, this other equation of, like, oh, am I gonna feel jealous? Am I gonna feel insecure? Am I gonna feel abandoned if you're, like, off making out with someone, or if just flirting with someone
Mhm.
and I'm not talking to anyone, or
That's okay, that's the fear, isn't it?
yeah,
Is that you're gonna go there and your partner's gonna be super popular and they're gonna be hitting it off with new people and you're gonna be stuck, a smelly loser with no one, just by yourself.
nobody
Yeah.
wants to talk to me. Yeah, I think that's a super common fear. That's actually not my fear, but
Really?
I've heard you talk
That
about
is
that.
mine. That is absolutely my fear. Yeah.
My fear is not that, like, I won't have anyone to talk to, more that there won't be anyone I want to talk to.
God, that's because 'cause you're way cooler than I am.
That sounds so shitty. Wow.
No, it's dope. Yeah, that makes you sound
Ugh.
awesome.
Oh, I don't think so. But, like, yeah, my fear is like, oh, there's gonna be someone who captures your attention and nobody that I like, you're the coolest person there, the one I wanna talk to, and somebody else has caught your attention, somebody's cooler than me,
'Cause
which
that
I know is not actually the case, but that's the fear, that's the insecurity.
yeah, that's the feeling in the
Yeah.
moment. It's like, "Oh, man, it's all over." Again, it's your brain being like life or death. There's no in between.
And our natural instincts to combat that are actually different. They're kind of opposite.
Our
Uh-huh.
personal okay, what do you mean?
Because mine is, well, I'm just gonna go over there and put myself in that conversation and get close and be cute and hold his arm and
Yeah,
be a little cat and play with him.
I know. You're so cute.
And yours is more like, I'll just remove myself from, like, I'll just let her be and I'll just remove myself from the equation so I don't bother anybody.
God, you read me well. Yeah, I don't wanna step on your toes because I feel, oh my god, probably a really complex, like, thought process. I think there's a lot of angles I can come at it from. But yeah, I don't want like, first off, I think it would make me seem really insecure if I'm just like, "Hey, this is my girl. See how I'm putting my arm on her?" Yeah, and I don't wanna come off that way. And also, I mean, hey, like, if you are making a connection, I don't wanna, like, get in the way of it.
You're so sweet.
Maybe. Or maybe I'm just, like, worried I'm gonna act like an asshole.
Oh. Yeah.
Can I say asshole?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But I think only twice.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I just did it twice. It's over. Okay, no more. I'm done saying asshole.
um, okay, so how does that translate to advice for other people? How does that translate to something that would be helpful for y'all?
Yeah,
'Cause
why aren't they speaking up?
I know. I feel like it is helpful to hear that, like,
Yeah, they're not alone.
yeah, that these are normal ways to feel, like, and the key here is that we both are very mindful of, like, even though I'm having all those feelings, like, it's fine.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
fine.
It's taken a lot of practice, but I've gotten there where it's like my feelings are feelings, they're not fact.
Yeah, like, I can be comfortable with being uncomfortable, like, I might spend, like, a minute being like, "Okay," I'm, like, picturing a certain scenario, seeing some girl who's all cute and titsy hitting on you, and I'm like, "It's fine. It's fine. Whatever, Alicia, it's fine. It's not threatening. It's fine. It's okay." Now here I am, like, gaslighting myself into, like, feeling like it's fine. You don't feel anything. It's okay. And then at some point I go, wait, I take a deep breath, like just a couple of them, just center myself and calm myself and go, okay, like, yeah, I'm feeling a little insecure. I'm feeling a little jealous, probably, or a bunch of things underneath that. And what would I tell someone else to do right now? Well,
Mhm.
I would probably tell them, like, what do you have going on? Are you going to sit here and pout or go socialize, have a good time, go to the snack table where there's other people grabbing snacks because they also feel awkward?
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That's good
Always, if there's
advice.
a snack table, go grab snacks. One, your hands are busy. Maybe your mouth is busy. Like you're doing something. You're not just sitting there like, I feel bad. Okay. And you
Yeah.
might be thinking, I don't want to be caught stuff in my face because that's awkward. Also, it's not, I promise. You're doing something to change your situation and your brain goes, it focuses on the next thing. Maybe it's you're just going and pouring yourself a seltzer water. Like it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Um, or maybe you're just grabbing a napkin, like just doing something. And that's a really easy way to start socializing with other people. Like if someone else is grabbing a napkin and you're like, did you spill on yourself? I don't
Or
know.
start a conversation.
So yeah,
Uh,
start a conversation.
Truly one of my favorite party memories, was, you and I were at a party together, and I think for, like, almost an hour, there was, like, 8 of us in the kitchen naked, just, like, people kept like, we're just grabbing snacks and whatnot. Yeah, it's a good what I'm saying is the snack
Wait,
table
we were in
is
the
is a
kitchen
good time.
naked?
Yeah, not your kitchen,
Oh,
but it was a party. Yeah, we
yes,
were at a party
yes.
and
I know it
there was
sounds
snacks
weird.
out.
It's not weird. It
It's
wasn't
it's
weird.
not weird.
The food was already made. We weren't making the food.
Yeah, exactly. And, everyone washes their hands and whatnot. Okay. I think it's not weird.
We're normalizing it, okay? Maybe it was a food party. Yeah, so if I'm sitting there like, okay, I'll do this creepy thing where I sit there and stare and watch and hope that nobody notices I'm staring and watching. Guys, you're not alone. I do it too. Okay, I promise. And I have to talk myself out of it. I'm like, okay, stop it. You're being weird. Go do something else. You get to feel your feeling. Go do something else. Focus on something else. And so I'll go talk to people because I don't want to be a jerk and be like, go intrude on your conversation. However, like we have established also in our conversations like this, like that's fine. If you're
Yeah.
feeling lonely, if you're feeling left out, if you're feeling bored, like come join me. Come enter the conversation. Come hold my hand. Come kiss me. Like doesn't matter. We have given each other like that. I want to say permission, like, but also just
Yeah.
like I invite that. I welcome that because
Yes.
that's how we've established. And we could have easily in those conversations said, like, actually, if I'm engaged in a conversation, go do your own thing, not to be a jerk and like tell you to go away, but like, I want to enjoy the conversation I'm having. And at some point, I am going to come find you. That could
Yeah.
have been how that went.
So it sounds like what we're saying is to have a game plan. Like
Yeah.
just whatever you're going to do, like discuss it beforehand.
Yeah.
And whether it is like, oh, give me space when we're there until such and such time, which again, if you are a person who needs those check-ins and your partner does not, uh, especially then, right? Like say, okay, well, but every hour and a half at least, can I come like poke you, come say hi?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or 15
Or
minutes,
fif
whatever it
or
is.
15 minutes.
Everyone
Yeah,
has a different timeline.
yeah, whatever your thing is. Don't yeah.
Some people want to be at the party for an hour and a half and leave.
Yeah, I mean, I've been to those parties. Well, I mean, I've been that guy at a party. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to parties where I'm like, "Oh, I can leave."
Yeah. I said hi.
Only go to good parties too. That's my other piece of advice.
Okay. I'm thinking of, so if you have multiple partners there, so we just talked a lot about our experiences being partners at an event
Mhm.
with other like potential
Mhm.
people there. But what about our other one? I talked about yours, but we've also been at events where like my nesting partner has been there, my anchor partner.
Yeah.
And because I like the flip side of this because it's a very different feeling for me of navigating my like the being at an event with the person I live with who like I'm longer established with, right? And having my other partner there and having to like like you were talking about like balancing that
Yeah.
and not leaving my partner either of my partners feeling abandoned or like left out. It's a different feeling than navigating the feeling of being anxious or nervous because, like, I feel insecure or I am
Sure.
worried about
Missed being left out.
being left out. Yeah, I get FOMO a lot.
Oh, yeah,
So I
me too.
talk about that a lot. Like FOMO, I get jealous, but being on the other side of that, trying to like soothe that in other partners
Ooh, yeah.
is an important piece of that because again, it's having those conversations and not and talking about like what you're willing to give or what you are excited to give, not just willing, but like but also like upholding your own boundaries, I think is really important too. Like I want to go and so like I'm going to a party to socialize, not to sit on the couch with you.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Unless I'm going to the party to sit on the couch with you and socialize.
Yeah. And which again is worth bringing up beforehand. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, so it all comes back to talking about your fears, your discomforts, what you expect, what you'd like.
Is that just the answer to everything?
Mostly,
Yeah, it
yeah.
just it all goes back to like, you need to talk it out.
Yeah, but
Go on.
the issue like, the hard part of that is we don't know what we don't know, and people
Yes.
don't know how they're human beings are so bad at
Oh,
guessing how we're going to feel in a situation ahead of time.
yeah.
When you haven't had that experience, we're so bad at guessing that. So I think every plan has to have some flexibility built in. Like, okay, we just made an agreement, we just made a plan. And in addition to that, can we check in if that needs to change?
Yeah, and when do you do that though? Like, when is it okay to shift the plan?
Good question.
Yeah. Like, if we're at like some crazy sex party and I walk in on my partner in the middle of a gangbang,
Mhm.
is that when?
I don't
I'm
think
like
so.
I'm like, "I know that I said I was cool with this before, but it turns out I'm not." Does that mean I just cancel this party? Or do you wait until afterward and be like, "Okay, I did agree to this. You did do it. I'm not mad. I can't be nothing's gonna happen to you.
I'm
Just like,
having a
I'm not
lot of
yeah,
feelings,
I'm not gonna
but
take this out on you, but
I'm
oh
not
my
going to
god."
direct my anger at you,
Yeah.
which I think is that's where jealousy gets the bad rap, right? Is this like, and then they were a total asshole to me,
Yeah.
or then I acted like a crazy person.
Yeah. I think it's probably a good rule of thumb is that if people are doing the things that you just agreed to, I don't think you get to be angry about it. I think you can change it for next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can process your feelings, you can talk
Yeah.
about it, but pulling people out and going, this is, but okay. But also, a lot of times people think they talked about things and it turns out
True.
they were not very good at that conversation.
True.
And one thinks, but you said this was fine. And the other one was like, no, I said it was fine for you to hook up with one person, not 11.
Oh, yeah.
But
Uh,
that's not what it sounded like to me. What if I'm in the orgy room?
so in that instance, is it oh, do you pull your partner out of an orgy? Do you like,
N-
"We're leaving this," or do you throw a fit? Do you leave? What do you
No,
do?
I think you go take a few deep breaths because it's already happened.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm with you. I'm just curious what you have to
it's
say.
already happened. Like, go take a few deep breaths, calm yourself down.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sex things are sex things.
they are.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. I know not everyone feels that way, but and I didn't
Oh,
used
yeah,
to
for sure.
either. Like I used to really like um that's a story for another day. Uh,
Not on
the
topic.
thing that just came to mind for me. But I've definitely had situations where what my partner and I had agreed to, in my mind, fit within a container. It was within a structure, like a set time or a set environment. And in their mind, it was the act that we had agreed to. And so then they were like, and this isn't you. If you're
Oh,
like going, well, what is this? And they were going, but we had agreed to this. And I was like, yeah, but I thought that was over. We had agreed to it for that time period, not to keep happening again and again. And I had felt like betrayed and like just, I felt terrible. And they were like, we we talked about this. You did not say within this time frame like that. Those words didn't happen. There was a lot of assumptions that were made, and it was a really. It felt like a relationship crisis in that moment. But as we talked about it and reflected, I was like, I can see I made a lot of assumptions about how I thought we were on the same page. And so I think it's really important to give so much grace and so much compassion and just assume that your partner has the best intentions, that their intention isn't to skirt your agreements or to pull the wool over your eyes or to get one over on you. If your assumption, if that's where you go to automatically about your partner, your relationship has a whole other set of issues that have nothing to do with non-monogamy. Actually, like if your first thought is my partner's being an asshole and wants to hurt me,
Yeah, that's not a very good
that's
friend.
the issue that needs to be worked on, not the thing that you're fighting about.
Yeah. Man, you're good at this.
Thanks. Sometimes eventually I get there.
Yeah.
But so like I had to go, okay, I know that this is someone who loves and I can see how this was a big disconnect in our communication. That we just were coming from a different place, that we both made different assumptions about this agreement that we had made because we had both left out pieces that felt like common sense, right? In quotes, or that felt like a given,
Mhm.
but they weren't. They really weren't.
I think common sense is such a dangerous concept
Oh, it's so bad.
because everybody's got different sense that they consider common.
My ex-husband used that term with me
Ugh.
so often. Anytime he would get mad at me, he'd go, "It's common sense, Alicia."
Oh my god.
And I'd look at him and be like, if it were common sense,
You'd be born with it.
it would be more common. Like I would know it. I have a lot of common sense. Like I'm a pretty savvy person. If this were a common sense thing, I think I would be aware of it. It can't be common sense.
Yeah.
Then can't be real.
It's just something that he has a firm grasp on.
It turns out like we
Whatever
came from
whatever it
very
is.
different communication cultures and very different relationship cultures. And so what felt like common sense to him was not common sense to me. I was like, that is not a thing at all, ever. Never heard of it. Don't know what you're talking about. But of course I was.
Uh, I'm sure you were. I'm sure you were absolutely wrong. Uh, so it sounds like we're saying
Mhm.
it sounds like we're saying that, I basically don't assume common sense. I think
Yeah.
that that's probably a really good piece of
Get
advice
real
is that
clear.
don't assume that anything has been said. Or
Yeah.
no, okay, I mean, yeah, like, unless it's been said, obviously, but don't assume that things are just understood. If you have a concern about how you're gonna feel, or maybe even a concern of how your partner's gonna feel, any of that, like, bring it up. It's worth talking about. You're with this is someone you're in a relationship with, if that's I'm assuming that's what we're addressing here, right? Would this happen with someone you're not in a relationship with?
I
No. I think we're on the topic of relationships
yeah,
and
I
going to
think
social
so.
events. Okay. But this one,
Yeah.
do I understand the episode? Kinda. Uh but it's someone you love, right? Talk to them. It's fun. Just talk to them. Any feelings you got, bring it up.
That, 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 right? I think that is the thing is we go, I have this fear. Maybe I'm not acknowledging it or addressing it. And it's kind of like a little tickle of a fear or concern, but I'm not gonna bring it up because, well, then I'll sound insecure or then I'll sound
Oh,
needy or then I'll sound right. And so I kind of push it aside, push it back, like it's fine, it'll be fine. And then in the moment, in the situation, in the social setting, oh, that thing that I thought might be a little bit of an issue that I never mentioned is actually an issue and it feels really big and hard. And now I'm in this situation of like, well, shit, I never even brought it up. So, like, talk about your insecurities. Like, it's fine.
so fine.
And I think that people are often surprised when they bring up insecurities, how accepting their partners are, or how they're like, "Oh my god, me too."
Oh, the amount of times you and I have me too'd. Well, okay,
Oh.
that's not no, actually scratch that. And the times that we have said, "Oh, me too," as
Um,
well to each other.
oh, I feel that too.
Yeah.
Feel that. Yes. The number of times.
The number of times. Yeah. I think that you'll probably have more in common with your partner than you think. Like, truly, I think it's just something to really just better I think it strengthens relationships, talking about the things that you're scared of. Because yeah, everything you said, that's why.
And I feel like a lot of people are scared to bring up what they're scared of or what they're worried about because that means kind of our monogamous culture makes that out to mean that your partner has to fix it or change something, but it doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean I'm scared of this, so don't do anything that will make that happen. That's not what it is. It's just let's talk about the thing to have awareness, to get maybe reassurance, to get on the same page rather than I'm scared that you'll talk to someone that's attractive and I'll feel jealous. So don't talk to anybody that's attractive. I
Right.
don't, that's not what you're doing. That's not what you want to do. You want to say, I'm scared that you're going to talk to someone who's super attractive and really funny and like that you really enjoy and that you'll completely forget I exist.
Ugh, yeah, I got that fear.
And also talk to all the funny, attractive people. I want that for you. Like, that's awesome. Have great conversation. Make out with beautiful people. I want that for you. But like, don't forget about me,
Oh,
please.
absolutely. I think about that a lot. Like there's a huge difference between what you're feeling and what you actually do, and you get a say in that, which is kind of exciting.
Hmm.
You get to decide, like, am I going to lean into this strange feeling I'm having, or am I going to try to logic my way through it? Like how many times I think about like you and my wife, and I just want to lock you guys in a tower, and that way no one can see you except for me. And I'll bring you guys food and whatnot, and supply you with entertainment
That sounds
and all
great
that.
for like a week.
Yeah, it's sure. Yeah, on vacation's
We would have
nice.
so much fun.
I think it'd be a nice vacation. But then I back up and I'm like, but would that make me a good partner? Like, how happy would they actually be if they were
Would they
locked
still
in a
want
tower?
me?
Yeah, would they even want me anymore? And that whole fantasy falls apart really quick. I'm like, okay, well, obviously I can't listen to that feeling. Also, where can I find a tower? It's just, yeah, there's
God,
so
if you
much
had
to
a
it.
tower, that'd be cool.
I know. I just see that's my fear is you're gonna find someone who has one, and then
Oh,
yeah,
fair, fair. That then
uh,
locks me in it
uh, yeah,
because I don't want that.
no, no, but who? What?
Yeah. See,
Yeah, no, but they
then
don't
the
lock you
fear
in it.
falls
No,
apart.
they just have exactly. But yeah, like I have so many fears and so many anxieties that I just don't listen to. And the less you listen to them, the easier it gets to not listen to them. I know I've said this in the podcast before, but I really do. I love the concept of rupture and repair.
Uh-huh.
Like it's okay to fall apart. Like you're gonna do that. I don't know anyone who is just purely secure in everything about their life, right?
You don't?
No, I truly don't. But I do know people who feel their insecurities, feel their anxieties, their fears, what have you, anger, whatever it is. They can feel that stuff and then kind of quickly put themselves back together. Like the rupture is them going like, "Oh my god, I'm freaking out." And I know people who, in a matter of seconds, can just pick it back up, put themselves back together, and repair themselves. Like, okay, that was a feeling I just had, but I can move forward from that. Fine. I guess I'm saying it's okay to have these feelings and these fears and these insane I don't want to say desires, but like these insane fantasies, like locking your partner in a tower. You can have that, never act on it. It
Never act on it.
no,
Um,
hit me.
there are a lot of people, I would say most of us are not as good at that, like picking ourselves back up
Mhm,
and repairing because it takes practice.
mhm.
It is a learned skill, it's a practiced skill. And
Absolutely.
so if you haven't had practice at it, it feels really hard. But every rupture is an opportunity to learn how to repair faster, both in your relationship and internally.
Yeah, thank you for catching that.
You're welcome.
Yeah, because the people who I know who can do it really fast were
Practiced.
people who practiced at it.
Oh, fuck.
And
Oh
it
my
might take
God,
you
so much.
it might take you days,
For
your first your
decades.
first your first time or decades, or however much time you need, but once you learn how to do it, it gets easier and easier the more you do it.
This is like confidence building, actually.
Go on.
So part of that ability to like be in an activated state, have big feelings, fear, insecurity, jealousy, FOMO, fear of abandonment, right? I just feel terrified, anxiety, social anxiety, all of it, right? How did I start that sentence?
Confidence building.
Confidence building. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Of course.
No,
No? Okay. No, you
no.
gotta think.
Let me think. Hold
Okay.
on.
Take a nice loud drink. Oh. Was he disgusted or was he coming? Oh.
That's our new game.
Disgust or come.
That's gotta be a segment. Oh, oh, when we're done with this, we're gonna pull a non-monogamy card game card
Ooh,
and do that
I love it.
for our Patreon subscribers at patreon.com/notmonogamous.
Now I have to leave all this in.
No, just that part.
Oh, okay.
when you're experiencing a lot of activation, a lot of emotional activation, and it feels really hard, or you're like anxious, you're anxious about going to an event, right? Why I'm saying it's similar to confidence is we don't just inherently exist as confident humans. Like confidence happens through experience. It happens through repetition. It happens through faking it till you make it. Like confidence is a skill that you build. It's a practice. Behaving confidently is a practice, just like learning how to move over the bumps of feeling FOMO, jealousy, insecurity, socially anxious. And I don't mean anxiety as a like mental health concern. I mean just standard everyday anxiety. Okay. I don't want to like I don't want to dismiss issues that people are having, but
Sure.
it takes and even then, people who have anxiety as a mental health thing um have to learn skills to overcome that enough to do the things that they want to do in life. So actually, yes, confidence. It takes practice. Learning how to like repair a rupture. If I'm like super anxious or super jealous or really insecure and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is insane. I hate this situation. I fucking want to leave." Oh, but you're having a really good time and you don't want to leave.
Oh no.
Let me find an anchor point. Let me find like settle. This is a skill. This is a practice I've learned to like ground myself, to settle, to find an anchor point, to find the next thing that I'm going to do so that I can get to the other side and feel more confident, feel less anxious, feel less fear of abandonment, feel less rejection, feel confident in myself, comfortable in myself. Like I can move through this situation. It's a skill that I've practiced over time through experiences of having lots of these like really hard moments and not wanting that to define my relationships, not wanting that to define me, not wanting that to define the party I went to. Like, I don't want to go home and be like, that was a really shitty party and I hated everything about it. That sucks. I want to be able to go home and be, ooh, I had some speed bumps. I had some like rough moments and I came through it and have like also some like I met some cool people. I had a couple of cool orgasms if that was the kind of party you were at. Often it's the kind of party I'm at. I had this I feel confident because I had that experience and got through it and came to the other side where I'm able to say like there were things about this to celebrate. And every time I've done that, I've become more and more confident, more and more when I say confident, like confident in my ability to get through that because every time I'm getting ready to go to a social event, a party, a date, I get anxious as fuck. I get so nervous. So nervous. Like I get the nervous shits, guys. I'm gonna be so vulnerable with you. I keep Pepto Bismol in my car because my stomach, when I say my stomach drops, I mean like it drops. Like I get so nervous. This is such a vulnerable thing I'm sharing with you. If I'm going on a date, I drink Pepto Bismol like it's a fucking cocktail.
You have so much in common.
And I drink the Pepto and I go and do the thing. And at the on the other side of it, I'm like, fuck, that was amazing. I'm so glad I didn't decide to cancel everything and stay home because I would have stayed home and been like, man, and now I have like real FOMO because I'm just sitting at home. There's a chance that I really would have enjoyed what I did at home, but I've built up confidence. And when I say I've built up confidence, I still experience a lot of anxiety about going to social events with one partner, with two partners, with three partners. Like with no partners, it doesn't matter. I still experience it, but I use the tools and skills that I've learned. Is really where I'm getting at.
And you're so good at using those skills.
Thank you.
Uh, oh my, back on talking things out, like bringing up your securities, your anxieties, all that with your partner. It pays because sometimes your partner is really good at this. And because odds are one of you probably handles things better than the other one. And that's not because
Usually,
it's not because one's better. It's just one person you guys have different experience. So
yeah.
usually you're not going to be perfectly equal. It's great. Reach out, even especially if you're scared. If you're like, I don't want to seem insecure, bring it up. For all you know, you're going to get hit with a ton of wisdom.
I
I appreciate you.
appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, we are getting ready well, we're not getting ready right now. We are
We're doing this.
we're going to a weekend long swinger event with my nesting partner and one of his other partners. And the four of us are going to be sharing a room and flights and a car and like going to a swinger event where the whole purpose.
Sure.
I wouldn't say goal because I actually rarely have sex at swinger events these days
I get that.
because they're kind of old hat now for me. And I just like going and socializing. Some of you may like relate to that, some not. But we're going to like, this is we had a practice run. We had like we went to another event, but we were sharing a cabin with multiple people. But like this is like traveling together with not everyone is partners, right? And so that it doesn't bring up it brings up different dynamics. I'm actually not nervous about it at all.
Yeah, I'm not either, but I know you guys all pretty well. Like, I think all of us get along really well. And like I said, we did a practice run already, kind of.
Yeah, yeah, we all get along well.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm bringing this up is the it's a swinger event. We'll be meeting lots of couples who are, if you're a swinger, if you're in a dyad, two people who go to swinger events, um, multiple poly people at those events are not as common as folks who have like traditionally been monogamous and then have opened up a bit and, maybe have sexy times with other people. Is so what I am anxious about or a little bit nervous about is so from my experience, often at these events, this is actually an SOP event, Swinger Open Poly. We're going to the spring spring lifestyle spring SLT
Lifestyle
spring
takeover.
lifestyle takeover
Yeah.
um, in Banff in Canada. And a couple of the things that people do there, there's so many fun events, and I get to talk, I get to speak at it, and I'm a event. What do I do? I teach.
Yeah, you're a teacher.
I'm
A
teach
speaker.
seems weird. A speaker. I'm a speaker at it. Um, but what some of the events that happen is like speed dating is one, like swinger speed dating. So you have people going around, and often it's couples going around, meeting other couples. And so some of the questions are things like, how long have you guys been in the lifestyle? How where are you from? Right. But also like what are your rules? What are your agreements? Right. And a lot of people will be like, oh, like because we're usually it's like the nesting partners, like a monogamous, like emotionally monogamous, sexually open people. Um, so it's like people will come with their, oh, we play together with couples, or we play in the same room but separately is fine, or we only play in different rooms, we go about our own way. And so what I think is really interesting, or what I'm feeling like, oh, this will be fun to navigate, or maybe weird to navigate, is doing things like that, meeting couples and be like, yeah, I'm here with my husband and my boyfriend and my husband's girlfriend, like, and people asking like, "Oh, so how do you guys play?" And the assumption is gonna be that all four of us play together, but we actually don't.
That's true.
So I won't say I'm anxious about it, but I'm anticipating standing out, being the oddballs at an event, being, like, not fitting in the way human beings like to fit in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
can see
not
that.
actually worried about, like, feeling jealous over you or Rob. Whoa.
Ooh, new feeling.
As I said that, I was like, unless, oh, we're at a swinger event, like you might go off and hook up with someone, which is totally fine. Do that. No, yeah, actually, that's fine.
Yeah, that's totally fine. Yeah, I will. I yeah,
We'll
yes.
talk about that when we get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Or
We'll talk about it at a time.
or beforehand.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, because you can have that feeling and then not act on it
Yeah.
and process it, or
I'm
take
just,
care of it.
I'm just trying to bring up like different events, social events that people get nervous about.
Yeah, and I think that is like this. I won't lie. This event, like that aspect of it, does have me like not anxious, but I'm sure I will be eventually. Like I will totally have jealous feelings at
Mhm.
some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're out of your tower again.
Call me Rapunzel. My
Yeah,
name's not that
but
long.
I also have confidence that I'll handle it just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we talked about
Point being, practice your skill. And no, I have to say, for a lot of people, myself included in the past, not so much anymore, those things, it feels like when I am in a social situation with a partner, especially if I'm feeling jealous, but if I'm feeling left out, if I'm feeling abandoned, if I'm feeling like, oh my God, everyone likes you more than me, it feels like a crisis in the moment. It feels like relationship ending, world ending.
same.
And I have to remind myself it's literally not. Like in a couple hours, we'll be going home or maybe tomorrow, right? Like I'm going to wake up tomorrow and we're going to be fine. We have had experiences. We've had enough experiences of feeling like it's a crisis and then coming through that. And so I think it's important to remind yourself, it's confidence building again. It's important to remind yourself like it feels like a crisis right now because that's what your brain wants it to be.
It's that life
It's
death
not
switch.
logical.
It's like, we're dying right
We're
now.
done.
Yeah,
This is
is what your
going
brain is
to
telling you.
lead to death. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is your stupid part of your brain that only wants survival is like this means you're being kicked out of the tribe. You're going to wander the desert and die if you feel a little bit of abandonment, a little bit of rejection, a little bit of whatever FOMO, right? Like your brain goes, this is going to lead to death. Do something about it. And you have to kind of reel that back and go, this isn't going to lead to death. This probably isn't even going to lead to a fight. Like,
oh man, what about I think that, like, I'm not sure if, like, aftercare is, like, the right name
yes,
for it, but reconnecting afterward, like, having something you do afterward and you can talk about it before, it's like, "Hey, we're gonna do this." After that, can we go grab, like, brunch the next day, take a bath together, or just
cuddle,
cuddle, do whatever yeah,
talk.
whatever your thing is. Yeah,
Yeah, share what the highlights
yeah,
and like the hard things and the highlights. I think anytime you're wanting to share like a hard situation, like, oh, that was hard for me, make sure you also share what was good.
yeah,
Not only for yourself, like to remind your brain like it's not all bad, but also for your partner. Like to share with them that even though I'm sharing these things that were hard for me, there were good parts. It's so reassuring. It's so settling. And it's so important for our like nervous system
yeah,
to find like have gratitude, to find the good things, to celebrate the good things. Yeah.
yeah,
I think that's a big we do that a lot. I think that's a big
yeah,
part of it is like reconnecting and going and talking about like recapping. This
yes,
was good, this was hard, this was great, this was weird. This
and
I yeah,
just make all that conversation normal, like, all of it.
cuddle, hug,
Eat good food
eat good food.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It tells the nervous system, I'm a part of the tribe, I'm not gonna die.
yeah,
Actually, like, it really is a thing that will settle you. Yeah, touch.
yep.
Yeah. Is there anything else to add to that?
I'm sure there is, but, we've got a lot of episodes to go yet.
Yeah. That's
Well,
what I got for you.
we might come back to this.
Yeah. Yeah, just feeling anxious about social events in non-monogamy, social events with partners, metamors, potentials, dates, like, it's so freaking normal. It's so normal. We all feel it. And there's so many tools and resources you can use.
You wanna do our Patreon segment?
Yeah.
Is it just the tip if we're gonna do a card?
I mean, it's still just the tip.
Okay.
Tip
I
doesn't have to be a sex tip.
I love it. Oh my god, you're so smart.
Yeah. So if you are not a supporter on Patreon, patreon.com/not monogamous, you should go check it out. You can get lots of bonuses, like just the tip. Get the episodes early. Come chat with me if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold
Uh, yeah, let's do it.
on.
Oh, excuse me. I
So
feel like I haven't been as chatty as I
you're
am
lovely.
normally.
You're perfect.
Okay, good. Which one's this?
So this is the non-monogamy card game. I love this box. The creators were on the podcast
Mhm.
a few months ago, and
Heard of 'em.
if you we're gonna pull a card. Oh gosh, it came with all these cute stickers and stuff. I love this. It's so freaking cute. Foundations or deep dive? So it comes with 2 decks. One is the foundations deck, one is the deep dive deck. Foundations are like non-monogamous foundations. The deep dive is where you go a little bit deeper. If you want I really love this. It's great for conversations. Um, you get a 10% discount with the coupon code NOPE10 at the non-monogamy card game.com, I think. The non-monogamy card game.com, use the coupon code NOPE10, NOPE 10, and you'll get 10% off. I actually really love this. So do you want to do foundations or deep dive?
Uh, what's deep dive? That's when you're holding, right?
Nope, that's foundations.
Is it really? Oh, like it's oh, okay. I like it. Yeah, deep dive. Let's go. I
All
think.
right. All right. Deep dive. I'll have you pick a card and then I'll tell you if I want to answer it or not.
Oh, I get to ask you. Uh, all right. What is something within your current relationships that helps you feel safe exploring connections with new partners?
Oh my God, that's such a good
That's a
question.
great question.
Holy shit, that's good. So that's the non monogamy card game. I'm really loving it and I want to do more of these because it's really good.
Let's do more. Let's end this recording. We'll go do more.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
do that. Bye.
Bye.